to this episode of Dying in Grace. You may realize that the background's a little different. It's because we are taping at home. This is Dying in Grace in the time of COVID, and I felt it was important to share some insights with all of you. Today I want to talk about grief. It's a subject that we don't do well with in a normal time of life. People are awkward and don't really know how to be with people that are grieving. And now what we're all experiencing is the world in great grief. And I know myself, I am feeling the weight of the grief and the loss. And there's many different kinds of losses that are going on besides the obvious one. And to me, this grief is something that is going to be with us and impact all of us well beyond the other side of this virus, when people are back to the normalcy of being able to see each other and go shopping and businesses are up and all that. And that's because of the magnitude of the loss. So first, we just look at the deaths, the huge amount of deaths that are happening, and the inability of families, due to the physical distancing required, to be with their loved ones in those final moments, to say goodbye. Not only can they not say goodbye, they cannot provide a memorial service or a funeral or any of the rituals that we usually do to honor those we loved when they've left this world. The magnitude of the deaths is staggering. But there's many other kinds of losses that we will live with. People who had to postpone their marriages, their travels, the sporting events that are being postponed, the Olympians who were ready to go to the games in June and now have to train for another year. And who knows how that's going to impact the world at this point. There's the losses of graduations. If you're a senior in high school, all those experiences of prom and saying goodbye and walking across the stage, and the same thing is true for seniors in college. Instead of having those memorable opportunities, instead people just packed up and left. And it's going to cause a pain and a feeling of having lost something that others had for quite some time. People who are giving birth at this point and can't have their partners in the hospital room is going to be a lasting impact, a lasting disappointment. And so it's important to look first at what grief you're experiencing. Just the loss of normalcy of our day-to-day living and the life that we knew is a tough one for all of us. But what we often do with grief, ours or someone else's, is we distract ourselves. We really don't know how to be with someone else in pain, and we're not very good as a society with being with our own pain. So my encouragement is first to acknowledge what it is that you're experiencing right now. And there may be a wide range of feelings, from sadness and sense of loss to some creativity, to enjoying a different pace of life, or cutting back, discovering new things. So there's lots and lots of range of emotions you may experience. But when the sadness comes and when the pain comes, the best thing you can do is give voice to it. Acknowledge it inside of yourself. And if you're with someone else who's feeling great pain, the best thing you can do is be a loving presence. Part of the reason we have trouble with grief is because when someone is in pain, we feel, because we care, that we need to fix it, that we need to advise them how not to feel that way, that we need to distract them or paint a happy picture. And now more than ever, what we need to do is just bear presence, loving presence with one another. There's no need to fix anything. We can't fix what is. Hopefully the scientists and the medical people are working on solutions, but for the everyday person, what we can do is bear witness. We can listen. We can empathize. We can understand. We can love compassionately. We don't have to offer our opinions, our advice. We can just hear that other person. That's always a good solution anytime, but now more than ever, learning to be present with another. It's one way you can be of service to anybody, either on the phone or in your own immediate family. If it's a child that's missing her friends or birthday party, these are things that we can do. I want to invite you to dare to touch the pain you may feel, because the only way out of great grief and great pain is through it. It's not always easy to go that way, but the alternative is the resistance, which either has us shut down and become an emotional zombie, or find distractions that we do so we don't have to feel, whether it's binge watching TV or drinking or overeating. So be present with what's true in your heart. Because if you take care of yourself and the totality of what you're feeling, you will be better able to help other people through this time. And as we cultivate this ability to be compassionate and loving with one another, it will assist us in the long haul, because this sadness and this grief is going to be with us for a while. However, this is going to pass. We can use this opportunity to learn more about ourselves, since we have more time with ourselves, to reflect and to grow, to create rituals, new creative ways to have rituals of expression. We recently had a friend whose memorial service was canceled, and what we did was create a tribute to her via video and send it to her husband. It was a loving tribute, and it was probably more meaningful at some level, and certainly more personal than if we had intended en masse. So please take heart. Live from your heart. Trust your ability to get through this, and allow what's true for you to emerge, and know this too shall pass. And take care of yourself so that you can help take care of others. We will get through this. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again at the next episode.